Up next is Julie Hertzman, and introducing her is Ryan Terry.
So when Julie asked me to introduce her for a senior speech, I really relished the opportunity to publicly embarrass her for a minute and a half. Since she actually gave me this privilege sophomore year, I've had quite a while to plan. Ironically though, I don't have any embarrassing stories for you guys, because Julie's the best friend anybody could ever ask for. She always listens to people's problems, no matter how trivial. She looks out for others and takes care of her siblings, all the while gracefully tiptoeing the line between mental strength and total breakdown. There aren't words to describe our relationship, but I can tell you that Julie is the kind of person you want to be friends with, and I'm sure I speak for many with that statement. I'll miss Julie next year, because she has always been there for me. So Jules, it's time to return the favor. Just some friendly pieces of advice for you as you journey off to college. First of all, join the USA cheerleading squad. You look great in the outfit, and Shuddy said you know all the cheers. Stay out of the bathroom, stay away from bathrobes, especially blue ones. Oh, and stop biting because Frankie said it really hurts. Other than that though, you're good to go, and good luck on your speech.
In July 2004, my parents told my sister and brothers and me that they were getting divorced. I'd never really dealt with this big of a change before, considering I had lived in Louisville and had gone to the same school my entire life, so this change was a shock to me. I was forced to adapt to living in two houses and switching between these houses twice a week. We agreed to spend Mondays and Tuesdays at my mom's house, Wednesdays and Thursdays at my dad's house, and we would switch houses every other weekend. This arrangement meant 2 days a week my siblings and I would come to school not only bearing our backpacks, but also carrying an extra bag with the things we were transporting from house to house. We now not only had the everyday worries of being a kid, but we also had to figure out a system to keep ourselves organized. Now, the hardest thing for me to deal with during this change was when my mom met the man whom we now love and consider our stepfather, Billy. Billy was unlike anyone I had ever known in my short life of what then consisted of only 12 years. At the time, he worked as a music promoter, bringing all different kinds of bands into Louisville to play their shows. He had never been married before, and he did not have kids. He also differed in that he was the calmest, most laid-back person I had met who never got angry or upset about anything. I remember specifically when my mom first started seeing Billy that whenever he would come over to the house, he would always bring us candy or some little present. He never tried to act like a father figure to me and my siblings and never overstepped his place. So what was the problem with him? Why was it so hard for me to accept him in my life? Looking back on the situation, it wasn't Billy that I could not accept as a person, it was the fact that my mom was not with my dad anymore. A few years passed and I finally let Billy into my life. It was not the multiple concert tickets Billy constantly gave me or the Snickers bars he brought home every day, but I think I finally realized that he was a genuinely nice person who treated my family well and made my mom extremely happy. It was not but really a year or so after finally adjusting to this new lifestyle when our mom told us. She told us that she was pregnant. This came as a complete shock to me. The first thing that ran through my mind was, well, she must have read the test wrong. She's 45 years old, she can't possibly be having another child. She told me she had confirmed the pregnancy with the doctor, and that's when I really started thinking, how would this addition to our already crazy family affect the lifestyle that my brothers and sisters and I had finally adjusted to? It was not until June 4th, 2008 that I realized it did not matter. I knew from the start this time that the changes would be for the better. I remember seeing Luca for the first time. My mom was still in her hospital room, but Billy, along with a few nurses, rolled Luca down the hallway to meet his new brothers and sisters. I don't know if I was more moved by finally seeing our baby brother after a long 9-month wait, or by the fact that Billy stood there with a huge smile on his face, tears rolling down his cheeks. Oh, shoot. All I know is that this moment I realized that everything happens for a reason. If my parents had not split and my mom had not met Billy, there would have been no Luca. Besides learning how to sleep through the sound of a crying baby across the hall, I learned quickly that Luca was the link that was able to connect the family at my mom's house together more than anything ever could. Almost 4 years later, I cannot imagine coming home from school and not hearing a, "Julie, can we play ring ring tag?" or "Julie, let's color." He knows if I'm having a bad day, and he's sometimes the only person who can really turn those days around for me. He also may only be 3 years old, but he sure does already know how to push mine and Rachel's buttons. But hey, what little brothers don't know how to get on their sister's nerves? Next year, I will be leaving my family, the city that I've grown up in, my friends, and the school that has truly made me into the person I am today. This will be the biggest change that I will have endured up to this point in my life. I can't even fathom the idea of not walking up those stairs into Collegiate next August. Instead, for the first time in 13 years, I'll be walking onto a new campus in a new city surrounded by tons of unfamiliar faces. However, unlike in the past, I am not scared. Well, at least not as scared as I used to be of change. I realize that although I will be in what will seem like a completely new world, I know I will be able to adjust. If there is one thing you take away from this speech, let it be this. Do not run away from change. Instead, embrace it, make do with it, and most of all, take advantage of it.